See, webcam is off. Hey everybody, I just noticed that my webcam is off. Let me see if I can fix that. If we're going to do a stream without the webcam today, both might be okay. Oh, what's that? Oh, did not plug in the webcam. Alright, this one starts good. Should have checked the webcam before I start the stream. Small webcam back streaming. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to see why I can't. Okay, let's add the webcam again. Isn't it always fun to do stuff like this? I'll get started in a minute. Just I want to add the webcam. Video capture device. Can we add webcam? Add existing webcam, please. Webcam small. Okay, so I guess without the webcam then, because this doesn't want to go. Yes. Oh, no problem then. Hello Bogdan Mircha. So once again, I'm trying to just see how this Thursday stream works in general for you guys. What's a good time? But I was thinking of, hey Isaiah, I was thinking of doing something fun, and since Cyberpunk came out not so long ago, I thought let's take a classic, being a good old Eastern European kid myself, maybe try and transform a Lada into a Cyberpunk car. But in the meantime, feel free to ask me questions, you can throw up suggestions. I gladly listen. Just no, Bogdan, I will just get it out of my system. Hope there will be robots. There could be robots. Okay, how about you give me some sort of what kind of robots you're hoping for, and then we can do robots. Monica Conchi, see you, Monica. All right, so I actually don't think I ever drew Ladas before, but if Bogdan comes up with a good robot prompt, I might just as well shelve the Cyberpunk idea, because I was thinking of maybe doing that for the Monday video as well. That could be a fun video actually, and then I could transfer this to some robot drawing time, maybe Cyberpunk robots. What is your favorite thing to draw? Well, as Bogdan threw it out there, I am into robots and sci-fi and stuff like that. So that is definitely my favorite thing to draw. But I also like cars. I'm not fantastically good with cars. I must say it's not my strength, but I do enjoy drawing them quite a bit. So it is sort of fun. In general, technical stuff. I do like drawing technical stuff quite a bit. Everything that is more art surfacey, I enjoy. That's why I was very excited for Cyberpunk 2077. Wanted to see how that dark dystopian future looks like. It's one thing to see it on the movie screen and television, and another to actually be in it and live it, right? So, if you guys don't know, Lada was relatively famous. If I'm correct, it is a Russian brand, and it sort of took over the East Bloc of European countries. Quite famous in the East movies. Like if whenever you were watching like detective movie sort of stuff, there were always Ladas as police vehicles and shit like that. So quite a well-used car. I was thinking of some kind of alien robot like in War of the Worlds. Okay, let me park my Lada then. Let's do some War of the Worlds alien robot. I'm gonna switch to a different brush. So that would be some sort of walker, right? Let's use a low perspective, so we're somewhere down here. And our friend is up there. And it should have these sort of articulated legs. Something like this, and then we could have one in the back. Let's use 3. It's I like having a number of legs that are not necessarily right. Not right. What is it? A pair amount? No, not pair. What is it? Even, odd. There we go. I like an odd number of legs. This should be fun. Okay. And you did say War of the Worlds, but I like to go a little bit more towards Mars Attacks, because they're just such a fun movie. Oops, I zoomed in a little bit too much there. So I want to see if I can put in some silly, some silly Martians with giant green brains almost hanging out. Let's see what we can do about that. I always like these old school design with the silly domes that are disproportionate. And then I would put some sort of control mechanism area in there. Like that would be the control board for the alien that is sitting in there. And then we would have, actually, let me look up Mars Attacks, I think the movie was called, right? Ha! Yeah, it is. Copy image. It's funny, I remember this looking better. Goedenavond. Good evening, Noyana. Okay, this is a bit big. Let me erase parts of it. And welcome, Daryl. We're just having some fun here. Just a little bit bigger. And then we have our friend here. Actually, I could make him a bit bigger, have a bit more fun with him. So I know we were talking about robot, and this is technically more like a mech than a robot, but I count it because I feel like it should count today. Alright, I have to fix a little bit. I want him to look down in an angry manner. That's fine. I don't know why they have why they're like skeletal like this, but I feel it. It works very, very well. I like this. I must say, thank you, Bogdan. I'm having a ton of fun with this. It was a good suggestion. Okay, so something like this. I could have sworn I had some sort of brush like this somewhere. Oh no, I think that was on the iPad, so not here. But it's okay. I like this. Let me see if I can. I don't know what's this called around the neck, but I like how that looks. I'm going to incorporate that, and then he's controlling it like with some sort of joystick. Those are his little arms. And then on this side it should be the same. There we go. Oh, micro break. Let me turn these off. These are annoying. And I'm gonna take a long break after the stream anyways. Ravi, what? Dude, come on, don't skip out on your girlfriend for me. It's you know how they say, girls before what is it? What was before bros? Something like that, right? Okay, let's add some quick brain matter stuff. There you go. This is fun part, and then maybe a little bit of cross hatching here, and then also here on the side, and then we can have some fun with that. Okay, I feel it's time now to pay attention a little bit more to our robot. And since this is the front of it, I want to make sure that this is understandable, that this is the front of our little thing. And I think they had these old school looking silly phaser weapons. So I'm gonna attach one of those as well. Just like that. So any of you guys saw the well, not the latest, because it's like now it's counted as an old movie, but War of the Worlds with, what was it? Tom Cruise? I think he was in the latest movie. I think it was 2006, something like that. Don't remember exactly. It's been a while since I saw that movie. It was quite good. I don't know, I saw better movies from Spielberg, but it was a relatively good one. I mean, I'm always open for some good sci-fi alien invasion movies. It's better than nothing. But I do remember the Mars Attacks one. I don't know, it was sort of a staple of my childhood. Well, I remember that one fondly. Let's add some cables to this one. Make it a bit. I like mixing styles a little bit. I don't want to have it too clean and slick in the end. Oh, there we go. So he has his little weapon there. Actually, I could go ahead now, and since I'm leaving this as a drawing, so black and white, I'm gonna add some more darks to it. Give it more of that inked feeling. A little bit of cross hatching, yeah. And it seems like I started suggesting sort of a shape for this one. So I'm just gonna go with that one. Just like that. Okay, let's take a look at one of these legs. I'm just gonna draw this like this. Let's do it this and this well. Alright. Great idea about mixing. Is there a Star Wars element you think you can mix? Oof, that's a good question. That is a good question. So if we think about Star Wars robots, that would be an 80 ST that I think that would fit this relatively nicely. So let's copy and paste that in here as well. Right, so Star Wars is more about flat shapes. So we could bring some of that in here into the leg area. Well, above the leg area, I would say. So we could say cut off a little bit of this area. Especially if you think of, if you want to bring the Empire, which is, I would say like the Empire's design, at least to me speak more as Star Wars design than the Rebels. Then you have a lot of these flat sort of surfaces. So what I would do is just take some of those flat surfaces and introduce them into this design as well. Something like this. Let's see how this works. It's always interesting because you do want to keep it relatively functional. So for example, here I would maybe do some indents or cutouts for this, where the legs would be moving a bit easier around. Give a little bit thickness to this plate here. Maybe give it, well, not a greeble, but just a little bit of sectioning. Just like that. Thanks, Bogdan. I do hope it will be awesome. Let's see what the end result will be. And once again, you can see, put this on top. So we have these oh, where's my red? I need red to explain. We have these darker areas, right, which are in shadow. So I'm gonna make these all like just black on my drawing, because I'm going more for this inked feeling. So let's just fill it here. Like this would be the area where you can also put design, but in general this is the area because there's not a lot of light hitting it. You just have the dark shadows, the ambient occlusion, which gives us the dark shadows. Okay, let me finish the legs, because I was thinking for the legs it would be cool if they would be like a little bit more geometrical. So a little bit like, also like Dr. Octopus's arm leg things. That's what I'm trying to go for here. It just takes, you need patience for these sort of detail work, because otherwise it won't get. I don't know what I was doing one of these days where I was like, oh, I don't have patience to do this, I just want it to be done already. And I was like, man, this is not good. Should be way more patient with whatever I'm doing. I could clean this area up just a little bit because it's too much previous crap. And what I'm gonna do now is make my eraser quite a bit smaller. And I'm just gonna eat into these areas where I know that these sort of splits are happening. I feel like I can have a bit bigger of an eraser. Yeah, so this is detail work. If I feel like if you're not doing it yourself, it is a bit more boring. But I always like saying that these sort of repetitive small tasks really relax my brain. So actually I really enjoy doing this. Okay, bigger eraser, and now just give this some 3D shape and form so it's more believable. And you will see that in the end, at least in my opinion, it's worth putting in this extra effort because I do think it will look definitely cooler. So let's just do this side for now, and then I can later jump over to the other side as well. There we go, almost done. Okay, same thing on this side. There we go. Obviously you can also add more detail or less detail here. Make it more cartoony or more realistic. It's up to you. I'm fine with the cartoony, especially since I went with a silly skeletal alien big brain design for the pilot. Yeah, I'm quite okay with this. I think this is quite fine. So what we're going to do here is suggest this last one, and then just do a cross hatching, which I'm going to make denser and denser, almost going to a black towards the end, suggesting that there it's in shadow. Now, so I'm gonna add some dark purple here, and I'm actually fine with that. For this lower part, I think I would like to have just sort of a tripod. This could be a super alien design as well, but I like the clash of just a stupid silly tripod for legs. There we go. Something like that. Okay, and now the other two legs. Like if this was a recorded video, this would be the part where I just speed forward. But in this case, we're not gonna do that because it's not really possible. No. So it's a little bit, not trial and error, but almost. Okay, I think that's a good line. Let's turn off the smoothing. Usually I'm not a fan of smoothing at all, but sometimes it can really come in handy. Okay. So here it changes the angles a little bit as we look more from below. There we go. So this is our second leg. So let me check. I feel like the angle shouldn't change too much here, especially with the second ones. Yeah, I sort of like that. Make again the eraser smaller, put into the legs. I'm doing a 1 hour stream, by the way, so I feel like I'm gonna be done with this robot in not so long time from now on. And if you guys want to suggest another thing, I can squeeze another thing into this stream. So feel free to drop in some suggestions into the comment section. You guys usually are much more active in the comment section. A bit disappointed that you guys are so quiet. Is Christmas holidays are coming up and you guys are a bit more chill and relaxed, not so talkative? I like this. I'm actually really happy with this suggestion, Bogdan. It's been a while since I drew a robot with sort of tentacle legs. And especially if you look at modern designs, which I like, but for some reason I tend to do retro classic designs. They always put sort of a cloth over tentacle legs or something like this to protect, I guess, and hide the mechanisms. And I like to have them a bit more bare. Alright, same thing again. Exhausted from all the shopping. Oh, so you're done with the holiday shopping for family and everything? Okay, I think I'm... Did you get any cool, interesting gifts that you can share with us? Well, not the gifts, but what they are, I guess, more. I didn't really do any holiday shopping this year yet. I feel like this leg could have been a bit flatter, especially this one here. Something like this. This one, the back thing is the culprit. There we go. That flattens it quite a bit. That's a better thing. Okay, I'm just gonna make a new layer and just see how I can make this back leg. Oh, like that, I guess. That's already much better. Well, that didn't take long. Robert Lambert, when you said this point you would speed up the drawing of the other legs, I was thinking you have built into the app area draw for we draw in real time while you draw other areas. Yeah, man, I would love to have that. It would be awesome for some AI to just take a look at what you're drawing and learn what you're doing and just apply the same thing. That would speed up my life. Well, not my life, but my work tremendously. Yeah, what I meant is just because I'm drawing the same thing over and over again, for you guys as an audience, that is probably a little bit boring, and I would love to speed that up a bit. Okay, and this would be the third leg then. Something like this. Okay, now I can take this. No, it's a little bit... I want to stick with my own lines. There we go. I do like that, I do like that. And then probably the edge would be somewhere here. And then getting thinner as I go up there. Yeah, I can live with that. Yeah, in fact I did, so I got my driving instructor. IKEA style baked beans and smoked pork leg. Some assembly needed, basically raw ingredients. Okay. That sounds interesting. Do you prefer Sketchbook Pro over Procreate or the opposite? So since I'm on the computer I prefer Sketchbook Pro. Although sometimes I prefer Photoshop. But on the iPad I definitely prefer Procreate over Sketchbook Pro, even though sometimes I do use Sketchbook Pro as well. So I'm Bogdan, I'm still curious, like what sort of, is that some sort of meal that you have to cook, the baked beans and the smoked pork leg? I don't think that's a recipe that I'm familiar with. I like smoked pork in general, but I usually don't consume it with baked beans, to be honest. Okay. Is this correct when it comes to... Yeah, it is. Sort of. It's sort of correct. Okay, that's fine. And now the whole eraser thing again. Let me just go on one side. Seems to be a little bit faster if I just stick to one side. Other side. I feel like I could have added a bit more pressure to these lines because the front legs, although actually it comes out nice because the front legs are a little bit stronger in pressure, which means they pop more and they're also in the foreground. Let's keep the lines clean, please. Ben Taylor asks, can you incorporate an iron? An iron somehow? Okay. Let's see what we can do with an iron. I'm trying to think back when was the last time I drew an iron. I think that was somewhere back in during my design studies where we had to draw products for exercise's sake. Oh shit, this is 7 and this should be small. A little bit of erasing here and there, and then just the same. All right, there we go. Let me see the iron that you wanted to incorporate. I feel like it would work nicely here. Just to be sure, I like to use reference. I'm gonna add it here. It didn't say that it has to make sense. I'm just gonna put the irons there. People can figure it out for themselves. Bogdan says, yeah, it's a meal you have to cook. We kept talking while driving how much we both like the recipe, so I thought it would be fun to be a Christmas present. That's very nice. Don't want to give him the present. Hope he will enjoy it as much as I enjoy putting it together. I bet he will. That is a very considerate thing of you to do, mate. Very kind of you. I don't think I ever gave anything to my driving instructor. Oh boy, I wasn't the best student, to be honest. Abdul Aziz, thank you, my friend. I'm glad you are. So this iron business here is very interesting. So do not ask me why this walking robot mech thing has irons on the side. That was Ben Taylor's idea, so we totally are blaming Ben for this. Yeah, actually, I like how this came out. And because it's iron, let me unite this. Do we need a bigger eraser? Just a little bit. And I can make sort of like not is it? Well, it's a path where it could technically the steam from the iron can come out. And it's sort of like a steam driven mech. There we go. We have a lot of steam here. I've done sketching 2 spacecraft today. Oh, nice! I have a spacecraft drawing as well, but I'm just happy to hear that people are drawing spacecrafts. It's always nice to get more sci-fi stuff. Okay. There we go, we incorporated 2 irons. I was not going to color it. I could, but I didn't feel like it today. Like if you want me, I can do some basic colorings on it. Might switch to Photoshop for that. To be perfectly honest, I'm not the best at coloring stuff. It's not as much fun for me. And we need sort of the tripod legs here as well. Something like this, I guess, should do the job. I wanna break this line up a little bit as well. It's too connected that this doesn't look supernatural. Not supernatural, it's supernatural. Okay, very natural. What I mean. Okay, that's better. Once again, it feels a bit too slanted, so I'm gonna adjust the leg a little bit. And make sure it's a little bit straighter. Is there any to show you those? I'm not sure I know what you mean, friend. I guess you could paste a link. I'm not sure if links work in the chat, but if you paste a link in the chat, then everybody can see it. Okay. I can take those 2 away. I like it. I must say it's ridiculous, but I like it. Bogdan says, how about the next thing for you to draw is how you imagine space sword could have evolved? Uh, space sword, space sword. Let me think about that while I work a bit on this one. So I think, what do you mean by space swords? I usually don't see swords being used in space. Clem says he's in an art study, but he's a noob and he's going to quit. Well, if you quit, then you're gonna stay a noob. You shouldn't quit just because you feel everybody's a noob at one point. Technically, I never studied art, so I'm a noob as well, but I'm not gonna give up. A little bit here. Yeah, it is Mars. Well, at least the character is from Mars Attacks because I like Mars Attacks a lot. Okay, let's make the wherever he's walking a little bit more interesting because I find that to be a bit boring. Yellow Flash, yo! What's up? Okay, I'm just gonna make a new... See, it's a little bit not the best. I should have made it more centered. It's a bit leaning. Okay, so something like this. So we just give him a little platform where he can walk on. Well, Space Sword is not silly, no. That's more like an excuse on my part, so I don't have to do it. No, and so when you say Space Sword, and I think about Space Sword, I think about stuff like Voltron, because I know Voltron had a Space Sword, and I don't know how many of you guys know Voltron, but that was like a giant robot that was fighting evil guys. Thanks, Flash. Glad you like our little friend here. Okay, I think we should give him maybe he's crushing some bars here or something. Go. And then you could have another wheel here, maybe a broken swing set here or something like that. Just to, oh yeah, and we could have like maybe a fence here. I think that would work. Sugar Tears, you're so cool, man. Thank you. Love your work, much respect. I'm an art student and I learn a lot from your videos. Glad, I'm really happy you do. And once again, feel free to, and that's why I'm doing these live streams, that if you have some burning questions, you can ask them here as well. Sherban, this looks like the guy in the Spider-Man cartoon, no? Well, his legs are definitely inspired by Dr. Octopus, so very well noticed there. Okay, and we will have a broken car there, and then a swing set here that is also sort of a little bit bent out of shape. And I think that's good. I can add some random trash here and there, but I'm just going to lower the opacity of this one. It's drawn on a different layer. And this time just try and be a little bit more clean with my lines, a bit more deliberate about what I'm drawing. Thank you, Nicholas. Octopus Man, yes, Clem. It was Octopus Man indeed. Not Dr. Octopus, not Dr. Otto Octavius. Octopus Man. Sounds better. Welcome from Brazil. I will have to rotate it a little bit just so it's a little bit more in my hands form. Yeah, I hope, as Clem says, I do hope as well that everybody's doing well during these weird ass times and that nothing is too weird or harsh. Let's try this. Yeah, it is weird times, but yeah, there's a lot of talk about all sorts of things coming out from the scientists area. So hopefully, I don't want to say the words because I don't want to break monetization of this on this video. But you guys know what I mean. Sherman idea. I forgot the name. Very nice. By the way, I am a design student too, and I learn a lot from you. Thanks, man. I like it that there's design students who are interested in drawing as well in general. I know when I was studying, like many of the guys from the uni were not really that interested in drawing. And in the end, it also wasn't that necessary to draw because you could do everything in 3D. So it's nice to see that you guys are into drawing. Shooters. I mean, I didn't know you did live streams. Now that I know, I will make sure to stay updated. Yeah, so before this, I was live streaming very randomly, but now I'm trying to sort of keep up a schedule for Thursday. Last week, I streamed, I think, 2 hours earlier, but I feel like this might be a better time for streaming. So hopefully I'll be again here next week at the same time as well. Nikki Soriano, have you tried using soft pastels to render your sketches? I've been having trouble with the medium since I'm new to it. So I did and I do, but only the industrial design way of sketching. So if you go a little bit back in my library, you will find some traditional, I think traditional industrial design sketching should be the name of my video, where I use pastels to do the rendering. Like actually I do one of my robots with pastels as well. Take a look. So I'm not sure if it's what you need, but it's the way of sketching where I scratch some of the pastel onto the paper, and then I use a toilet paper to sort of rub it in where I need it. And I do it gently in the beginning, and then I just apply more and more as needed. And I also have an eraser on hand to erase the excess color, or pastel in this case, where I don't need it. Where's my thick? Do you use 3D Max Studio or just 2D apps? I mostly use 2D, but since you can see my screen down here, I have Blender, and right next to it I have Fusion 360. So these are my two 3D apps that I'm using relatively often. Blender, keep on trying to learn because I'm not really proficient with it yet. It's a very strong 3D package. But since I'm an industrial designer, I use Fusion quite often. And I also use Fusion a little bit because I do some client work in it. But very, very little. Most of my work is drawing related. Clem, used Sketchbook for a while because I had RAM problems in Photoshop. Now I have new PC and 40, I want 64 or 46, 64 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, I do need to update my system soon because it's I had to do some renderings and it was dying. So that might be something that I have to do soon. Beto Alves, what good books do you recommend for design fundamentals that are of the same type as Scott Robertson's How to Draw? I would recommend, I'll write it down here, Ross Eisen. Like, look him up, he has 3 books. I don't remember the name of the books now, but if you look him up, you should be able to find those books, and they are really helpful. Like if you want to do industrial design and drawing and design fundamentals, they should be super helpful. We have this little swing set. So imagine this is like the backyard of somebody. Our alien friend just decided to trample through it. And by the way, your vid on you drawing your setup in fisheye perspective is very nice. Love it. Thanks, man. Yeah, I thought like usually there's a lot of workspace or work setup reveals, and I thought, okay, let me do it a bit differently. Let me bring something else to it. Okay. This could be some sort of chain, but I'm also a bit lazy to draw a chain, so let's make it a lazy chain, like this. And then, so if little details can give a lot of life to your drawing. So if you think about it, under swings, there's always like this sort of, I don't want to say used area, but area where the kids kick off a lot. So you're missing a little bit of the terrain. So just to give it a bit more liveliness, that should help. Okay, I like that quite a bit. I'm gonna create a new layer and just make the platform a bit stronger. At these points I'm thinking, is it worth switching to a ruler, because that could make my life a little bit easier. And rotate. Okay, I'm gonna do it with a ruler, just to simplify things a little bit and to speed things up. Otherwise, I know that I would try it 1 or 2 times to catch the right lines that I don't think I have to do now. There we go. So now we have our little platform here. Oh, not quite. I need to draw the back side of this as well. We'll go like there. And here it would be something like this, I guess. There we go. And then erase the parts that are not necessary. And with that, I can take away this layer, can make my eraser a little bit bigger. Since I'm a beginner in design sketching, I find it difficult to sketch objects accurately and clearly, like it just doesn't come out neat, even though when I practice drawing lines and ellipses separately. Yeah, there's many things that you can start practicing, so you get better at product sketching. One thing is to draw your lines, and then another thing is to do a lot of live sketching, live studies. Like look at that object, rotate it a little bit, see what you got right and what you can't get right. And obviously, perspective is very important for design sketching. You want to have a good understanding of perspective. Because that sort of breaks or makes your sketches. Okay, so we can draw a little maybe stone or something here. Maybe add some more patches of grass on this side. You could add maybe soda bottle thing. Just add some stuff that gives more life to your drawing. Here, the broken wheel. Well, not wheel. It is a wheel. Sketch and make clear drawing layers for sugar theory. Yeah, under drawings always help. That's also if you're drawing digitally, always, as you could see me as well, I do a first an under layer and I make another drawing on top of it when I feel that I understand what I'm drawing. If you're drawing traditionally, use lower opacity markers, I would say. Like cool grays, you can use a cool gray 1, 2, 3, like something on a lower opacity. Hello, Huya. A little bit of shading here as well. And I'm gonna add a bit of shading on this one, so. Just like that. And then I could add some shading here. Some here. And usually I make sure that when you have some sort of bend like this, I make sure that there's more light hitting, for the shading is not that visible there. I could add a tree stump here that was cut out, just because why not? It's a very cliche thing, but tonight I feel a little bit like cliche. Okay, I think this is working quite nicely for me. I'm gonna keep these two apart just in case. And I'm going to fill the interior of the car also with a little bit of crosshatch, although this is not crosshatch, it's more lines. Like that. How do you find an idea and start drawing? I struggle a lot at finding something to draw and then I just don't draw at all. Yeah. You can first of all be part of a community where people give each other ideas, where you have weekly prompts. That helps. Or what I like to do is, let me go here. I just have my Pinterest and it's full of inspiration. So I just see something that I like and I try to draw something that goes along with that. Like spaceships from Scott Robertson here, like really cool motorbikes, castle thingies, a lot of sci-fi stuff. So obviously it's also stuff that I like to look at. But in general, when I feel demotivated, I just see the awesome drawings of these people and I want to jump in and create something cool myself. So that helps as well. And if nothing else, I just copy something, you know, just to get me into the mood of drawing, because copying is easier and you can also use it as a study to learn. And then after that, you can come up with your own stuff as well, adjusting and changing the thing that we just saw. I would say this is where the green, the grassery of the yard should end, just outside a little bit. Like this could be asphalt or concrete or cement, whatever you want it to be. Can just draw something, anything, then plenty of ideas. And yeah, that is actually the main thing of it. You really just, most of the time, you just have to convince yourself and sit down and just start drawing. Because sooner or later, you will just get over it and you will be happy that you actually sat down and started drawing. Okay, so now I'm adding a little bit of broken asphalt to this friend of ours here. A clear sketch underneath, but the thing is I kind of get too carried away and end up trying to get it perfect for the first try. It's ugly and messy. Yeah, but if it's ugly and messy, yeah, then you just lower the opacity and start again on top of it. You know, that's the trick. Oh. All right, I think this is fun. I think this is a good little drawing. I can try and clean up my alien a little bit. I can add maybe a bit more detail to the ironing cables here, and then also on this side. Also, I love it because it makes no sense because those irons are giant compared to this car or this swing set. Makes absolutely no sense. So I can clean it up a little bit more here. And then let's jump over into Photoshop. Open Photoshop. I'm just gonna... Sorry about that, guys, if that was super loud. I just broke my microphone. Oh boy. Wait a second. So I'm saving it as Mars Attacks Walker. Yeah, I'm sorry, I know I killed your ears. I'm really sorry for everybody there. Sometimes I'm a spaz and I just hit the microphone, which is way too close to my hands. Open Mars Attacks Walker. There we go. So welcome to Photoshop, everybody. Why I like to come to Photoshop is I could color it in Sketchbook as well, but I just set up action for myself that if I go onto this layer, right? Yeah, and I just click select and I hit this little action. You can't see what happened there, but actually I filled my drawing with darks, so now I can just start doing this. It's a little bit like magic. If you want to know how I do this, I did make a tutorial on this. You should go and check that one out. If you do a lot of work like this, it can really make your life easier. Okay, and now. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you very much. Alien used. I should use the energy cannon. You're right. I will do that in a second. Okay. This leg as well. A little shadow from beneath and a little shadow from above there as well. Oh. And this one. I didn't press that much. I pressed L. Just like this. Oh, it's a bit strong. How about we make it a bit like that? Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna take a soft brush and come back with a little bit of white because, as I said, I want it to be a bit more shiny here when it bends. Okay, and now what I can do is just take a darker gray and make sure to go into these crevices. Just like that. And again, this is about patience, which I don't always have. There we go. This is just the thing where you know that light doesn't hit, you just make it a little bit darker. And whenever you have crevices like this, there's usually light. It's hard for light to get in there. So I make sure to make those darker. And now seeing this, I realize that because this is sort of underneath my structure, this whole thing could be a bit more in shadow. Something like that. Yeah, that works better. Come back a little bit. Same here, again, like that is a bit too bright there. So I'm gonna go back there in a second and put a little shadow. Right, and as I said, I want a bit more shadow here. Yeah, I think that's nice and fine. I'm going to create a new layer that I use as a clipping mask. And I'm going to lasso, so I only clip this area. Okay, and now I erase the legs because I like the legs as they were. And this one as well. Okay, and now I can come back with some lights. For example, I know this iron should be a bit whiter there. Like that, and then I can add a bit of light here as well. Just like that. So this is just about skipping back and forth and seeing how the light is hitting your whatever you're drawing. I'm gonna take mini break because I'm super thirsty. All right. So same thing here for the iron. I want it to be a bit brighter because we have some light hitting it then. What I will do is also erase some of the areas that got selected that do not need to be selected. Just like that. Oh no, I was on the wrong layer, guys. There is nothing more frustrating than realizing that you're doing stuff on the wrong layer. There we go. This time around I was on the right layer. Oh yeah, and this here is also, this does not need to be selected. Erase, please. Same goes for that. And this area and here. So as you can see, I do like working a lot with lasso and gradient or lasso and whatchamacallit, soft brush tool. Okay. So let's see what else I want to do. I want to add a bit more shadow here. Actually, I could add a bit more shadow on the whole person here. Well, person, I would call Martian person. So just select him. I'll make a new clipping mask on top of it. So I'll call this Martian. And I just call this values. And the Martian I will just fill, let's say this gray. There we go. And I'll lock the layer. Your iPad could easily do this, Victor. You just need, well, actually, whatever you have works. Sketchbook works on iPad perfectly for stuff like this, but also Art Studio Pro or Procreate. Let's see. So again, the same thing. So where do I think that there's shadow? So there's probably shadow here with a little bit of light coming over from that direction is what I'm expecting. So I'm gonna add a bit more dark there, like that. And I feel the rest is almost dark enough. I could make this a little bit darker and maybe also this outside. Just a little bit. Then I can come in with brighter areas. This part of his brain and this part of his brain. This can already start being a little bit darker. Just come in a little bit cut out there and make sure to emphasize his shape here. So this is where comes in handy if you're good with anatomy, which I'm not, because you can take some of the human anatomy and just apply it to our friend here, but I'm not that good with anatomy, sadly. I'm just trying to figure out the basic shapes here. And I think this should work for now. I'm going to stop here and fill this with a white gradient. Okay, that's a bit maybe too bright. I like this, I like this. I can make it pop a bit more. Yeah, what I'm going to try is just paint over here again, because I think this could be even brighter in certain areas. Let's see how this works. Yeah, it's okay. It's not fantastic. I want to blend this. So I'm gonna take soft brush. I'm just gonna blend this a little bit in here. Like that. And I'm gonna take my sketching pen with white. Not full white, but I'm just gonna brighten it a little bit. And I'm just gonna draw in some of these shapes. Can be a little bit white enough here. I'm just gonna follow some of these shapes that I laid out here, just to give it a bit more texture. And obviously the eyes could be a little bit brighter as well with a specular highlight in there. He looks retarded, that's what I was going for. Favlone, hello, I gotta go, but you've helped me so much. Happy to hear that, Favlone. Have a lovely night, and thanks for popping by. And I'm gonna come back a little bit also with a darker color, just to help separate the shapes a little bit in his brain area. Okay, and we can also come in with a little bit of the darker ones. I can actually do some selections here, just like this, and use my gradient tool to bring back some of these darker colors and bring it down here. Add a little bit around the eyes just to make it darker, a little bit around the nose. What you can do also, bring a little bit of the brighter area just as a like a rim light sort of thing almost, you know. There we go, that's working. I'm gonna brighten up his control board a little bit, not too much. And here as well. Same gradient tool. That was a bit too much. I'm gonna deselect this area, add a little bit here, and a little bit there. I think that's nice, I think it's fine. Just gonna brighten our little alien, add a bit brightness to his fingers as well. Just like that. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's good. I'll go back here because I feel like this one I could darken now a little bit. I went a bit too bright. So this area, you have to think it is just a little bit rounded, so it turns away from the light, so we can make it a bit more dark. Same, this is here shadow area, so I'm gonna make it darker. Same sort of turning away from the light is happening here, so I should keep that in mind. I don't want to go too dark. And here as well. And I feel like the background here, this can be quite darker. Let me take away this laser thing that he has here. Just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna take the black. Yeah, that's nice, that works. Okay, let me see. So this is cancel. I'm gonna call this layer Martian lines, and then this can be, oh, was, yeah, that's it. So this is our Martian. Oh no! See, this is what happens from time to time. I put this crosshatch on the wrong layer. So let me copy this from here. So I want this crosshatch, these lines here, and this crosshatch here. Command Control X and Control Shift V. and just merge them. There we go. Now we're good. And since I colored this now, what I can do, I come back here with my brush, make sure to close these lines, and you will see in a second why I'm doing that. Because now that everything is closed, I can do my action thing again. So I just go W, select everything that I don't want to be colored. That I'm going to do, I have that's a separate action, but this is the one fill with white. I click it and I have a layer now that's called white. And if I lock it and I do my gradient, then it's already filled. So I'm gonna do this now a little bit darker. Okay, like this. This one can be quite a bit more dark. There we go, and I can turn this back on. Good. Omkar Bagve. Hello, hello. How to set up artist live stream, or is it okay to start live stream with 0 subs? Thanks. I guess it's okay. It depends what you're doing for. Like sometimes I just start streaming when I want to force myself to get done with something, because I know if I'm streaming, I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm gonna make sure to get that thing done that I'm doing. So let me reframe this a little bit. There we go. I think I wanted... Do we have some good swatches here? Pale? No. Darker? We could try this. Not a fan of this, I tell you. I like this a bit more. Okay, so now what I can show you as well is that I can add another clipping mask that clips upon this, and I can sort of fill it with a color. I can say I want this purple, and then I'm just gonna go to color, the layer properties and nicely cycle through them, see what looks the most interesting to me. Like this one looks relatively interesting. That's vivid light. Pin light looks also good. Ah, see, difference, really nice. I like this. I'm gonna bring the opacity down a little bit. There we go. Green on the background. We can do that as well. Okay, let me take this away. I'm gonna lighten the green. Yeah, that works. I will add a little bit more blue here. Something like this. We could end up with white again, because I'm just not gonna fill it with white. Let's see. I'm not convinced with this, to be honest, and I still wanna do some color on my Martian. Good luck, Umar. It's always good to have more people who want to do this sort of things. Okay. So then, if we have green in the background, I could try and make this some dirty orange. Let's see. I like this. I could put in a little bit more red as well, just so we have a bit more color diversity. And on the top, I could put a bit more yellow maybe. Let's see. No, I don't like that. Well, of course, it's not, it doesn't have the opacity yet. No, maybe green for this one as well. İsim Türkiye. Evet. It's the only word I know. Such a shame. Okay, let's go with a blue here. Let me find blue that sort of works. Not the biggest. I do like color burn. Let's see if anything gives me some nice effects. No, I see, I don't. Okay, blue, at least this blue does not work for me. Let me try a little bit more cyan. So this is because yeah, as I said, I'm not necessarily a color person. I do have to experiment a little bit. I do like this though. So it is, I go back to multiply, take away the blue, set, take away the blue, and let's try a little bit with a desaturated purple. Let me see how that works. I said maybe a bit more desaturated. I'm on darker, not a multiply. Okay, lighter purple. Yeah, I'm not really getting what I'm looking for, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop with the colorizing things here. I'm gonna erase this area because I want my alien dude to be, first of all, this should be green. Or not green, but I'm okay with this light cyan blue. Even lighter cyan blue. Yeah, that's good. And then we can make our friend here green. So I can select only the Martian. I can choose a disgusting greenish color. And let's see what works. That actually darken works perfectly, doesn't it? Oh, all of these work nicely. This is also cool. Pin light, let's see, dark and multiply. Dark multiply is better. This. Corey Sprogus, say. Yes, I will be drawing cyber. Actually, I started, I mean, oh, it's probably not visible. Oh, what a shame. Okay, wait. Let me group this. Oh, I didn't cut off. Good. So if I bring this here. I started out with this Lada that I want to turn into a cyberpunk car, but I guess that's going to be Monday's video. So I'm still not sure about the background. It might go away in the end, but let's stick with this for now. Okay. And now, like what I do at this point is I take this color, I move into a more interesting direction for my taste. Take a soft round and basically do this. Just add a bit of highlight everywhere. And I feel there's too much saturation in that, so I'm quickly gonna lock this and just take away from the saturation quite a bit. There we go. And then I unlock it and do this a little bit again. And then just erase in between the areas where I know I don't want it. Just giving it a little bit of sheen. Then I come back with my sketching pen and just make sure to add a little bit of this rim light sort of thing. And then bring it there as well. Making sure that it pops a little bit more. And I can do the same here. Sort of like that. And we could repeat that process here as well a little bit. Nice soft round brush. Then erasing it in the crevices. Just like that. And I can also add a little bit of this edge. Oh yeah, one more thing that I wanted to do before I forget. Brush. Does my thing work now? Why can't I pixelate? That's interesting. Don't understand right now. Okay, let's stick with the brush. So what I want to do is just draw a little bit of a laser here for our friend that is shooting. Something like this. That would be an okay thing. Once again, soft brush. Let's go with a ominous red color. And also a less ominous white. And a layer below that. And I'll make sure to put this beneath. Yeah. There we go. And then above it again, I can come back with myself a nice ominous red again. And then this is where the white comes out. Can paint in a little bit, have some fun again. From this point to this point. just put some electric sparks flying everywhere, connecting there. You add some highlight dots here and there. There we go. And maybe just some more connections here to this thing. All right, how about that? Now we have a deadly little Martian alien going through the wasteland. Oh, and since we drew these irons, why not have some fun with that and add a little bit of steam. Here, here. This is more, this we're just having fun at the end. And I'll make this side as well. Side. Okay, hide the selection. I'll choose a full white. Lock the layer, well, not the layer, just the pixels. And now I can come with a slightly darker white, which is a gray, and just paint in some shadows. Make sure to have a full white so you can sort of erase away from them. Sort of like sculpting in and sculpting out areas. There you go. You just triggered the rule of cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, and like this, we could continue for the rest of the drawing. It's just I'm getting a bit sleepy. Relax. What I'm gonna do is just do some minor adjustments on this layer. Erase this part here that is not necessary. Thanks, Corey. I thought I butchered your name. So I'm happy that in the end I didn't. You are the best, Clem. Don't worry about it. Everybody knows that you are the best. Don't even sweat it. Let's add a bit of concrete feel to this one. I'm gonna add a bit of a darker, just like before. Okay, take this one. Just like before, crevices. Light doesn't really go there. So I'm just gonna jump in there with these. And I can make this a little bit darker. I feel like the under part of the platform. Can add a bit of shadows here. we go, and a little bit in the car as well. Just want to have a good overall feeling to this one. A bit darker. No other way around. Like from there. Yeah, there we go. And then we can, just as a final touch, also add a little bit to the car. Not too much though. You can also do this with a soft brush. Like that. Now I would say here, I'm going to do some random assignments. Think of the way the metal sort of folds here. You have all sorts of artifact looking things. There you go, it looks actually quite nice. Wheels are also not white, they should be darker. And this one as well. Yeah, I think we can stop here for today. I had quite a bit of fun with this. I hope you guys did as well. Looking forward to seeing you next week, or hopefully next time as well. I'm just gonna erase a little bit of the steam and say goodbye to you, dear folks, again. Thank you again for joining me. As always, you can hit that like button. You can subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And see you folks next time. All right, bye-bye.